Hi everyone. I've been getting so many questions on if my vlogging career is over, and the answer is no, it is not over. But I was so sick last week, so sick, like if I was walking, I was falling down. It was so bad. So I'll tell you about my week, what you missed out on. So I guess it all started on Wednesday. I woke up and I just did not feel good. Like my whole, I was congested, had a cough a little bit, whatever. And then the next day I woke up, I could not even leave my bed. It was horrible. So I called the school nurse because I thought that I had the flu. So I wanted to call her and say, do you guys test for the flu? Before I walked all the way there. And so she asked me on the phone, she was like, oh, just tell me your symptoms, whatever. So I told her all my symptoms, and she was like, yeah, it sounds like could be the flu. She was like, it's best though if you come here, whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll come. And so I went there. They don't test for the flu there, so I don't know why she brought me there, but it was horrible. I could not even walk there. It was so bad. That's how sick I was. When I was walking, I felt like I was gonna collapse and die. Anyway, so I go there, takes my temperature, I have a fever, and she was like, I really think you should go to the hospital because the doctor here doesn't have the flu test, whatever. So I went to the hospital. I did not have the flu. They said some sort of infection or inflammation or something because my white blood cells were high. So we put me on antibiotics. I started feeling better 2 days after, but I had a trip planned to Meteora that weekend. So I was starting to feel better on the antibiotics. So I was like, yeah, I'll go. I'll be okay. I was considering seriously not going, but my mom was like, oh, you don't want to miss out, whatever, blah, blah. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go. So here's my trip to Meteora. About it. I lasted a total of an hour, probably less than an hour, but we'll say an hour. I'm walking on the hike. We go on a hike. Well, first of all, we took a train. The train was at midnight. I get on the train. The train was from midnight to 4 a.m. So I get there at 4 a.m. and then all of a sudden the girl who booked the Airbnb that we were staying at says, oh, guys, we can't check in the Airbnb until 3 p.m. 3 p.m. And it was 4 a.m. when we got there. So I'm saying to myself, oh my God. First of all, I rode the whole train ride there backwards because the seats were the front half of the train was facing backwards and the second half of the train was facing forwards. So I faced backwards the whole time, and I get motion sick really easily anyway. I was also on the antibiotics, which was making me nauseous. And it was just horrible. So I get there, I'm not feeling well at all. We find a coffee shop to sit in because the girl was like, oh, we could go on a hike at 8 a.m. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going on a hike. Hey.
Hey, is Marina in class?
I think so, yeah. Okay. So from 4 to 8, sitting in a coffee shop, I'm thinking, how can I get out of this? I cannot go on a hike right now. But I was I'm not going to be the person who holds everyone back from going on the hike, so whatever, I'll just go. So I go. I seriously don't even remember the hike. Right now, it's such a blur. First of all, it was barely a path. The path we were on lasted for probably 15 minutes, and then it was just fully rocks, and it was slippery, and it was just a nightmare. I don't even think I would enjoy hiking myself anyway. I just don't think I'm a hiking type. I'd rather take a bus tour or something. But anyway, so I was trying to focus on my surroundings. I couldn't. I had to focus fully on the ground because I was already so nauseous and dizzy. I was just trying to push through, and then I just decided, I was like, I cannot push through this anymore. I'm gonna throw up all over everyone and I need to go down. So I start crying. I go to the tour guide and I'm like, listen, like, I cannot stay on this hike for another 5 hours, because it was supposed to be a literal another 5 hours after that, and I was already like dying. And so whatever, I start crying, and then he's like, oh, like, don't worry. He's like, no, stop, like, don't cry, whatever. He was like a little old man. And so he took me down to the bottom of the hill. There was 2 tour guides, so one of them stayed with the group. So embarrassing. I'm such an embarrassment. I like can't believe I did that still, but whatever. Someone came and picked us up like in our van that we took there, and they brought me back to the travel place. And then I sat there, and they had a pet cat, so the cat like sat on my lap and was so nice to me. And I literally sat there with like the tour guide and like 2 other people, like the receptionist or whatever. And yeah, I literally sat there for the next 5 hours and waited for everyone to come back. And then I went to the Airbnb and I pretty much went to sleep. The next morning, they woke up and went on another hike, and I was like, I cannot go on a hike. I'm real sorry. I just can't. So me and another girl stayed back in the Airbnb and just like hung out. That's my story, and now I'm just starting to feel better, but my antibiotics are just making me like headaches every day. So I can't wait for that to be over. But yeah, that's all I got. And I'm going on an excursion this weekend. Hopefully I'm like not feeling nauseous or anything because I cannot turn back on this one. So yeah, hopefully that goes okay. And yeah, so bye.